Hello, I am Burble Kia, and I have had this game called Her Story queued up on Steam for quite a while, and I just never get around to play it. I keep thinking maybe it's a good thing to play in October when everyone's doing spooky games. This can be something different, but kind of in keeping with the season. And then October comes around and it's not there. I'm doing other things, or I'm not in the mood. And it's sitting there, and it's February, and we've just had Valentine's Day, and Her Story's there going, you're interested in me. You want to have a go. So we're going to play Her Story. We're going to see if I'm clever enough to do it, because I think maybe I'm not going to be clever enough to do it. Let's find out if I am. Are there guinea pigs to look at? We'll find out too. Any piggies. Roga's laying under her bed. Topanga and Pootle are laying under their bed. Gus is on top of his bed. Everybody's sleeping. They all bossed me around. I hadn't even made my own breakfast. They bossed me around and demanded their morning vegetables. Now they have eaten their morning vegetables and they're all sleeping it off. Ugh. Spoiled divas. Now, it's like TV aspect ratio, so there's going to be black bars on the side. But I think maybe that fits in with the way this game is. But just to give you a heads up, this isn't something that I've not noticed. It's an aspect ratio, and I'm not changing everything around and building a whole thing just to fit that. We'll have it with the black bars on either side. And I think maybe it's going to work with the mood. If it doesn't, I apologise. It's a judgment that I made and a decision that I purposefully made. Could be wrong, but here we go. Am I doing something? Introduction to the Logic Database. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The Logic Database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be the most valuable item in your crime-fighting toolkit. The database contains footage transferred from existing homicide and serious crime tape archives at Portsmouth. It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately so they can be tagged for submission to court. The audio has been digitally stenographed and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. To retrieve a clip, type in a word, e.g. robbery, into the search field. Click search and the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. To narrow a search, use multiple words, robbery supermarket. If you are working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted commas to search for an exact match against the entire statement. Yes, I was there. To store a clip for later reference, click Add to Session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags to your own to help future searches, please click in the User Tags box and type in your desired tags. For any further assistance, please contact your department's Information Technology representative, Police Information Technology Organisation. Really, read me! Here's the database I filed for a Freedom of Information form to get you great access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999 and then the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. No one has touched them since. I couldn't find the server with the detective's footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97, but figured this would be enough. Take your time. SB. So you can trash things. Okay. So murder. Okay. Is there information about the date? Are these in date order? We can have an anti-glare filter. Oh! I understand why, but this actually does look better. I like the atmosphere that comes with that. So we're gonna keep that. So I'm assuming these are chronological. Let's find out. Oh, it does tell you. Okay. 27th of the 6th, 94. 1st of the 7th, 94. Okay, so they are chronological. Okay.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Oh, that was that. Okay.
Yeah, that's me. But February, and that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Okay, so we need to find out who Simon is for a start.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
So she's been questioned for a murder, and there's only 4 videos where they say the word murder? That's just weird.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
That thing she did, I'll do it the same angle she did it. All these stories we've been telling each other? That's such a Princess Diana thing. I mean, people like laud her up as a saint and a victim, but she was very manipulative. The last 5-10 years, she was very manipulative with the media. They killed her, I agree, but she was very manipulative. You basically put your head in the lion's mouth and then act surprised that it bit your head off. She put her head in their mouth. She did a lot of look down, head down, look up, very sharp eyeliner, lots of angled head, chin down, eyes up. J.K. Rowling tries to do the same thing, but she does that smirk. Everything she says is there's kind of a smirk in it. Everyone's just putting words in my mouth that I'm not saying. I'm not saying it like that. They're so hysterical. They just love rapists and paedophiles and perverts. You know, Rowling thinks she's doing a Diana, but she's doing a Rowling, and the less said about that, the better. So, I think the thing that makes most sense is Simon. Who's Simon? 61! Access limited. Oh, access limited to the first 5 entries. Okay. So she probably does say more. Although, those were spaced out a lot more. But these are all from within minutes, I'm assuming.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
I keep trying to clear that hair off of my screen. It's not on my screen, it's an effect. That's what I did the very first time. I was reaching on my screen and I was like, there's a hair on my screen.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have. It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Helen. The way she said Helen was a bit...
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games. You know, Climb the Tower, Save the Princess, that kind of thing.
Right. I'm going to make some notes. So we're gonna look up Helen, because she said Helen it's completely inconsequential, but something was weird about it. My serious note taking involves a frog pen. We're gonna look up Helen. We're gonna look up Amstrad. That's I know that's a computer. I had an Amstrad, but we're gonna look into if her mentioning the computer or them asking about the computer means something's on the computer. Do I need to look up more conversations about the computer?
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Okay, I'm gonna look up Simon missing. Does she report it? No.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
Okay. Husband.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband. When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
Oh.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine. It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
So we've got Oxford and Glasgow. Body. Because she's gone from missing to murdered. So I'm assuming he was found at some point and she was told.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes. I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policeman. I found the body.
So she reported him missing, but she also found the body.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed, and that's when I cried.
So he was found in his mum's house?
His body didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. There's these thick glasses. It doesn't always wear.
Michael, why has she got a guitar?
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Made a body of a doctor. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. On a dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. On a dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain.
So she's Colin Ballinger then, doing her YouTube video, YouTube apology video.
Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
They actually clapped!
Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
Why did that happen? Colleen!
Can you imagine? I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
I wrote Helen, she just said Hannah. Did I get the name wrong? There's a Hannah now. Did I get the name wrong? I'm assuming there is no actual end. You just do this. You just research this. Mum. The body was found at the mum's place, yeah?
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything though. I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
She got a bruise on her face there.
We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
So I've already watched that one, yeah?
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve, so my parents let me off.
So she sets up that she blames other people for her mistakes.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite.
So Hannah's a sister.
If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. My mum was amazed.
Twins. Nanny. Twins. If I get stuck for words to type in and search, I'm keeping some.
Okay. There's a girl and she's staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out. It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Oh, I got an achievement. It's a happy ending Rapunzel story. I'm getting achievements.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Hannah's a symmetrical name.
My mother called me Eve. Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story? It's a real life fairy tale.
Okay.
Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors, and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories. Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour?
That's a weird thing to ask. They're doing some kind of psychological test on you.
And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends, and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books. Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. You do what you can.
They're really showing off that tattoo in some videos.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. Oh, he's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Second time she's brought up his glasses.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Okay, we've got another achievement.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since.
So she's called Eve and she's got an apple and a snake tattoo.
I don't exist. He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing.
So she's definitely got a twin
to
sister.
sit and interact and talk to him after all this time.
Hannah, I think, is the twin sister.
He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Twin?
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Ooh! Okay.
Are you out of your mind? Twins? Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion. There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a private place.
Actively copying her
We used
then.
to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things. Yeah, we were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long though.
Princess Diana's wedding dress
There's
was
a great
not very
photo
nice
of the
looking.
bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
It looked really crumpled. I know it was supposed to be ivory, but it looked really crumpled and dirty. Okay, so we're going to look up Hannah.
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N.
I thought your name was Eve. Oh!
It reads the same backwards as
Are
forwards.
we looking at
It doesn't work.
both of them, or are we looking at one woman with a split personality?
Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Okay. Who's Eve? So when you can see the tattoo, it's Eve. When you can't see the tattoo, it's Hannah.
What are you doing talking about you?
Is it split personality?
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry. Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
So did she had a twin that died in childbirth, and she did the split personality I'm both twins thing?
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. It was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place. Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes. Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater. There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it under. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her.
Totally appropriate thing to say when your husband's missing or his body's been found.
But that was it. It was just a moment. We made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
Eve Hannah. No, just that. Did I hear that right? Did she say Helen? Oh, she's only mentioned her twice.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes girls.
Oh, I was right that she said she had a thing about it. Did Helen work in a bar?
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar. Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing in the bar again, and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
He asked me to kiss him. Achievement.
No. I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar. I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
Right, let's look up the computer, see if something comes up. No, it's just the thing I've already played, so the computer's not an issue. I've gone through my notes. Helen Hannah Amstrad twins. Split.
No. I was 15. Carl was older. 17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex. We did it in a church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Charged? No. What? Therapy? Oh, I've got a J in there. No. I'm trying to see if there's ever talk of a diagnosis or treatment. Treatment.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford.
Okay, so he had a slit throat and he's in glazing.
On his throat. How? Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood.
Didn't she say it was behind a load of boxes in a bin bag?
Yeah, he was dead.
Why does he keep doing that?
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Okay. I see ya. Mirror.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror. A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me. The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. Haven't looked at it since.
Okay, I'm gonna look up black eye or bruise.
Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Wig. Mirror. Mirror slash. No.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match.
Because it's the same person.
Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck frozen peas up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies were synchronised anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
Okay. Same person? Does she ever say same person? No. Same.
No, he doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, this gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page. Rehearsed? If you ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer. Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
evidence? I mean, we do see her on a lie detector. So let's look up lie as well.
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
That was a different one. Bruges.
Bruise? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. We hurt like hell. Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity. It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze.
So is that masturbating?
A hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
Simon, stop coming and interrupting.
This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing and she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
I'd already got wig written down.
A wig? You mean... what type of wig? No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig? This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
Okay, cat flap now. Cat flap.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognised me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant, but I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs, in parks and alleyways. I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. It was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me the STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Okay. Evidence. No. Everything we've already looked at.
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house. Yes, I'll take a lie detector test. I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work? My name. That was the only question I failed. The lie detector works.
Okay. So white shirt says she's Eve, but failed lie detector. White shirt said she's Eve, failed lie detector. I was trying, that was the first thing I wrote down. I'm trying to keep track of which ones says they're which. Oh no, cat flap. Why did I write down cat flap?
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door. No, no cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
How do we see more of the lie detector test? Test? Truth. Question?
Have I ever cheated on Simon? You asked that question yesterday. This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions about me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
Okay. Doug.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, it's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us, there's always been pressure. I hoover my dust every week, maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day. You know, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that. Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in, Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Right, I've written down Eric. We're going to look at that. I remember she said she found the body in bin bag. I think she said bin bag, so we're going to look up bin bag. I remember her mentioning she was in Glasgow, so we'll look up Glasgow.
1984. It was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
Okay. So it's just that The only time she ever says bin bag is for the finding of the body. That's weird.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Okay. Eric is Simon's boss.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either. Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash. But Eric convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Who's Eleanor then? Am I spelling it wrong? I can't remember how to spell. Can't remember how to spell Eleanor. Oh, she's got a guitar again.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the Glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there. Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then. Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off Ceefax, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Have you ever eaten fennel? Achievement. I have. And the guinea pigs love it. Oh my god, we've got another Colin Ballinger concert.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
We'll go back to Eric.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left.
Okay.
Yes, there's a...
So it's not there. Where does she talk about Eleanor?
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spent a lot of time.
Did I just hallucinate somebody called Eleanor?
Yes, that would be in his wallet. Eric.
What was I? Who's Eleanor? I swear I saw the name Eleanor everywhere. Have I gone insane? Doug and Eleanor. Okay, Doug and Eleanor. It's Doug and Eleanor, not Eric and Eleanor.
I hoover, I dust every week.
E-L-E-A Nor. E-L-E-A Nor. Okay.
Yes. I speak with Eleanor at least once a day. Not that there's anything much to say. It's more just...
Fuck! Well, doing that got me an achievement. I got the fuck achievement. Right. Glasgow.
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep. Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and then headed back. No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning. When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car. Ask the hospital.
Oh, God, just that.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital.
Okay, so she's got an alibi.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us, so we could then disprove it, rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch, to make sure the alibi stuck.
Okay. So white shirt one is confessing to it.
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there.
She found her husband's body in the
bag
cellar.
was taped up.
She says we put things
I
we
think it
don't
was
need,
plastic tape.
and smiled.
I think it was ours. Well, fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. Only worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in, as good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So,
No. That's what we just saw. Witness. No. So in all of this, nobody ever says the word witness? Right, I got an achievement for fuck. Let's see if fuck comes up. Oh my god.
yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill. Thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck.
He's popping back in.
No, I'm okay. Fuck. Are you going to arrest me? No. They'd laugh you out of the building. A lawyer would make mincemeat of you.
Right.
Are you arresting me? No. Fuck off. Open this door.
Arrest.
Like I said, I think I was popping out to get something, ran out of something, had to grab something. I sometimes drive too fast. If you want, you can arrest me for that.
Okay, we're gonna look up shit because we're getting stuff out of her swearing. So we're gonna look up shit. I'm gonna look up blood as well.
This is a nicer room. This is where you take people when it's time to arrest them. Yes. No, lawyer. What are you going to arrest me for? Can you arrest someone who doesn't exist?
Okay. Let me just look up imaginary. Oh, chit chat. What's that? What's chit chat? How's it going down there? You done? Oh, I can't write. So it's just a little thing that pops up. I can't write in it. Oh, I can write no. Okay. Hang in there a bit longer. Buzz when you're ready. Okay. I could only write one. I could only write no or yes, I suppose. So you could, now that chit chat thing's come up, I can end the game, I'm assuming. Shit. I can't make the chit chat TM go away.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15.
Okay. Blood.
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me. She was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
Hello. Dispose? No, there's no disposing of the body. Body blood. Truth? No. Guilt? No. All of that's been done. Charged. Did I do charged? I've done arrest. Blame? No. Killed. That's a new one.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Killed him. That just gives you that one. Murdered them. No. Murdered him. No. Can't believe murdered only gives you one result. That's so weird. I'm running out of keywords. Okay, she keeps talking about a baby and a pregnancy.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday. No, I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months. We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after. Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
No. No. Okay. can we bring up? I'm amazed at the number of keywords that do not bring you a single result. I mean, she's been questioned for murder, and murder brings up like 4 results or something. That's weird. Move the body. No. Move the body. No. The body, which is what we've got there. Why was she playing the guitar to them? Why was she playing the guitar to them?
No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical. He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf. Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
Oh, this is 2 minutes. So this is probably going to be a YouTube apology video.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay? Probably needs tuning. No. It's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. See, they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. She pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind. So I think that's a good place to stop.
So that's when the wind and rain, I got an achievement. That's when she starts talking about bones and stuff, isn't it? That was the second part of the song that we saw. Okay. Did I do sister?
When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face. She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone. She never calls me that. My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
That's creepy as fuck. No. Okay.
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him? I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
So, this didn't show up. So did I not type in mirror? Ah. It's a further along one. Mirror kill. Mirror die. Mirror Simon. Mirror throat. Mirror blood. No. Mirror broke. No. So why didn't that show up for mirror broke? You can't do the shortened. Sometimes it shows you the shortened version of a word. That's annoying. Shattered? No. Shatter? No. I'm kind of running out of options. G-R-O-O-E? Hack. G-hack. What's that mean? Mirror game. No. What's mirror game? Is this Othello? What's going on? Yeah, it is Othello. Yeah, we're doing Othello. So I'm playing both sides, which kind of makes it difficult to win. I'm getting it. So this is just going on forever. So we're just going to keep going until we fill it up. And it starts again. Okay, so that's just Othello in the rubbish bin. Mirror game. No. Oh, there he is. Cracks with class. Okay. So her surname is Smith, the victim's surname is Smith, and it's only there 3 times.
When will the police let me back in the house? And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but they said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms.
Oh my God,
It
is this
was hard to believe.
the Beef Wellington murder
Death
again?
caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone.
So she knew what a poisonous
Had
mushroom
any reason to hurt them.
looked like because her dad taught her it. So should she kill her parents as well? Okay. Mushroom.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. When I came down one morning, they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I'd slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. He used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way you would pick death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Right. I see ya. Death caps for Cutie. No! She just said death caps and it doesn't show up. This search doesn't work. She just said death caps and it didn't bring results up. They said put it in quotation marks. So this doesn't work properly. This doesn't work properly. Poison? We got that.
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
What triggers it to bring up that face?
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, the dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there. Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories. Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean,
No, that's hair.
could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Okay.
What kind of hairs?
No. No.
No. Well, yes. You found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
50% of database access. I've only got 50% through it.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story was in there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know. Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in a mirror. She was me.
Okay.
No, it was just me and her. He was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
No, oh my god, birth isn't even there. Okay.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper, curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Understand why your mother did what she did. Glad Sarah will be waiting outside. Log off and we can meet over the road.
I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
Okay. Same. Sarah has logged off and crossed the road. Random access.
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
Oh, it doesn't. You have to type it in every time.
No.
Brilliant.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away, so I took the car.
Okay. I am not clever enough for that. I don't have the true crime investigator thing that podcast sleuths have. I got through half of it. Negotiating the database was a bit frustrating because you could literally see her say 2 words together, then you type them in the database and it didn't show up. That's annoying. And you put them in the inverted commas and it doesn't show. Yeah. That was interesting, and we did it, and we got a lot of information, and I came up with a lot of ideas, and I made notes. The second I decided to try and keep track of who was Eve, which one was Eve and which one was Hannah, it stopped being clear which one was Eve and which one was Hannah. I think she killed her mum and dad. One of the personalities killed the mum and dad. One of the personalities killed the husband. One of the personalities thinks that the daughter died and the daughter didn't, because the daughter's looking into this. How do you only get, 3 results from typing in murder? How do you only get 3? That was her story. I'm kind of intrigued to watch someone else play that and see what they get. I mean, I'm sure they've done it better than I have. Okay. That was that. I'm almost certain I've missed a massive point. I'm really sorry. Bye bye.